Welcome to Hope Will Link, the basement tapes. We should have been at Plus Bodford 2 days ago, playing a gig there. So instead, we're doing it in our own home, for reasons that you know about. And I have an audience of unusual people that you'll see later on. And we've got about 6 or 7 pieces for you. And the first one is a very old one. It's called Still Life with Old Shoe. And that's based on a painting by Miro. So not a lot of the rest of it makes sense. Is my face red? The waitress asked. Should have had a whiskey, fish finings, strong drink, tamarind, terminus, terminal. Just one sip and semantic disaster. Black statues show no dirt. 25 crowns is £1. What shall we do with these bodies? How shall we inhabit them with our clothes falling away in folds of lead and bronze? Shall our faces be pointed or fractured or smooth, rosy, floral blue? How shall we live in them and yet out of them on the edge of the frame? A tawny city designed to be wet. Rust, tangerine, watermelon. The browns are orange and the pinks are yellow. Under a very old birch next to green rocks, the shadow of water is light. For on the underside of a tree trunk there is a reflection of the moving river. It means reconciliation, smiling. Taken to the other place, Otter Palace, Panther Oath and Anterior Post, Puppy pushed and punished most, and Doctor Who word, Shoebird, New Herd, the synapse snaps, a primrose laps, water upside down, lopside gown. Where do they come from? Their meanings dragging behind, the buzzing, moving tongue of brain, wrong of sane, Earl of Thane. Beer garden, a stone duck with painted lips. Long-legged figures under street lamps, stalking proudly. Alien insects of the movies and fairies of the old books. They are not like us. They ride the daylight invisibly. They are elegant, and frightening. They have visited the poets in dreams. Neither male nor female, their faces are always turned away. They are clothed in their own shimmer and beauty. Sandy yellow, smooth, hairless shoulders. Dogs dog you. A black and white collie shaking with excitement for a stick to be thrown. Easy to become condescending to a dog. He'll stay with the equipment. Where humans are, dust is. Where humans are, they make places to sit and grieve. The places have high ceilings to let the deaths rise up off the shoulders of the living. Where humans are, I don't go. So invent a language of shapes by recording what you see with an open heart, and keep doing it every day, even in the midst of war. Thank you. That's very kind, too kind.
What's next then?
Okay. The next one's called Sylvia Plath on TV. It's my angry feminist rant, and it's about how Plath is never really talked about apart from apart from the end of her life.
Right. Technology.
Here we are, shut in the room again. Woman poet. The doors are taped. The children are being gassed. It was all for nothing when we ran to bring flowers in our skirts, tipping books and PhDs on the grass in front of her. Smile, mummy, smile. She is still a witch of Electrolux and briskness. Stranded in the 1950s, the second wave was too late for her. That sooty broomstick, those blackened teeth, her punishment for rising at dawn to evade the baby's sticky fingers on her legacy. Death was the cooker setting. We tried to change the dial, but it was stuck on tragedy. Next piece is called Goats, Bardsey, Cyprus. And it's a track from Soundtrack for a Found Notebook, which is the CD that goes with and also contains the soundscape in the Plasbod for Unus Multorum exhibition. So this is Goats. The music of the goats is gamelan. It is sniffing and dry grass in the mouth, pine needle, chalk, rock, wailing and kissing the air, moi, moi. Double uddered, yellow ear tagged, with grooved neck, muscled from reaching, and a horn curling round the ear like polished jewellery. The trees form a nave. A water bottle label is tied in a votive knot. The goat's bells are hymns in tin. Each animal believes that the jittery, irregular song at their neck is the heartbeat that guarantees the continuance of their pungent, musical life. Moi, moi.
That's a good one. Thank you.
Next, also from Soundtrack for a Found Notebook, is a piece about Impressionist art, perhaps. And the sound is from Enchley. It's called A Beach in Low Sun. A beach in low sun is where modern painting makes sense. Stick figures bleeding into light near the water. Gradations of colour from dry to wet sand, from dry to wet land, and the underneathness of rocks. The height of a child against the distant sea is immense, doubled, illuminated, rippling. Then one long wave folds over at the same moment across the whole bay.
Muted applause.
That was rather beautiful, wasn't it? Right, I'm moving the microphone.
Okay.
Next up, we've got Zen Poem for Robert.
Technology.
David's in control.
Bell.
Skywriting in my head fades away on waking. A story in the river flows past before I catch its meaning. The music of the murmuring crowd is too strange to be remembered. A story in the river is too strange to be remembered. Skywriting in my head flows past before I catch its meaning. Skywriting in my head is too strange to be remembered. A story in the river fades away on waking. Skywriting in my head. Skywriting in my head. Skywriting in my head. The music is a murmuring crowd, flows past before I catch its meaning. A story in the river is too strange to be remembered. Story in the river. A story in the river. A story in the river flows past before I catch its meaning. Skywriting in my head.
That's me in the bath, that is.
Okay. This is the last one. It's called Gentlemen, and it's about some of the things that I like about men.
I see.
Naming no names. This is a song for gentlemen. The men of women, the listening men. Men without guns. Men who cook without the need to boast. Young men with long hair and guitars, disarmed by love. This is a song for gentlemen, the men of women, the listening men, men without uniforms, men who can fix things, but can fix crying children too. Barefoot men with coloured bags full of nappies and nothing to prove. This is a song for gentlemen, the men of women, the listening men, men without stories of conquest, men who know when to hug and when to stop hugging, peaceful men who admire their mothers and offer them friendship. Men without guns, men without uniforms, men without stories of conquest, men without fists. David Hopewell. And I'm Kathy. Hopewell Link's Basement Tapes.